Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Agape's Abode, where I'm your host, Rebecca, and I talk about all things Christ related. So if you noticed, we have a new guest here, just a mic that I got that I'm actually super excited to use. Even though it was such a hassle to set up, it's not even funny because I thought my desk had the right amount of space, for the little clamp to go on, but turns out it doesn't have it on the side that I need it on. But I figured it out, so all things are well. But anyways, for today's video, I kind of just wanted to talk about gratitude and its importance, and also how it can literally change your life and change your walk with the Lord. Because this past week, I know it's not just me. This past week, something was just so off because it was so incredibly difficult to just even like get through a day without anxious thoughts, anxious rumination, and I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I kind of did, but I'm not going to get into that because it's a little personal. Um, but yeah, it was just a bunch of anxiety that I was dealing with, and it got so bad to the point where I started feeling it in my body. Like, I started not being able to stop fidgeting, and like I was walking really fast, and like my head was just kind of going. And it got to the point where I literally had to just get away from everybody and go to a beach and just like sit there, not even like read my Bible or nothing, just sit there in prayer and just be silent with the Lord because I didn't know what else to do other than to sit with Him. And that really changed everything. And as I was sitting there, the waves, just kept rushing to shore. And it was almost like, how do I say? It was almost like a melody, if that makes sense, because it was repeated. And I was just like, wow, like this is like what God made for us, partially for our entertainment, because the world is so fast paced nowadays. It's like, you have to be watching YouTube while you're eating and also texting somebody, possibly on FaceTime. There's all these things that are coming from all different directions, and it's so distracting, but also so fast paced that it induces anxiety without us even knowing. It kind of just slips it in there very subtly. And so I was sitting there, come in, clearing my mind. I was just like, wow, these are the things that God made that was meant for us to enjoy because it's the complete opposite of anxiety. Like it was super calming and it almost had this peaceful effect on me that I took throughout the entire day. And I was like, where is this coming from? Like, why is it that just sitting, watching the waves, something as simple as that, can get rid of stress and anxiety, like almost completely, and like also talking with the Lord, of course. And it kind of hit me that we aren't grateful, as mankind, we aren't grateful for a lot of things that God has put here for us to enjoy. Mostly that being nature and also, of course, each other, but like also nature. I mean, the reason for my anxiety in the first place was I was just thinking too much and I wasn't bringing my thoughts also to the Lord. I was just kind of trying to take it into my own hands and, take captive my thoughts and this thinking that I was surrendering it to the Lord when in reality I was still trying to control it, but not in the sense of surrender and giving it up. It's like I wanted to give it up and I thought that that's what I was doing, but in reality, that wasn't what I was doing. And that didn't hit me until I just sat quietly with the Lord. Because watching the waves, I was like, dang, like some of these waves are like kind of powerful. Hello. But yeah, just watching the waves reminds me of just God's creative ability and also his power and how anxiety really is just a lack of trust in God a lot of the times because you don't really, maybe you don't fully know who He is, or maybe you do know who He is, maybe you just don't know what He's gonna do. But that's the whole point of faith, and that's where I struggle too personally, is not really knowing the next couple of steps. I can know the next step, even though I don't have to. Anxiety, it comes in the not knowing the next couple of steps because I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, not really understanding what it means to wait patiently. And in reality, that's not what the focus should be at all. The focus should be the things that God either has already done or is currently doing. And realizing this comes with gratitude, even for the smallest things that we all take for granted, like that first breath in the morning. It's like, whoa, I'm alive, I'm here. It's a whole nother day. Like, you never know what could happen because a lot can happen in a day. Yeah, I think it's really eye opening to pray to God and ask, like, hey, what are the things that I take for granted? Can you show me these things so that I can notice them and no longer take them for granted? They're all gifts from God. And I'm just like, wow, these are the things that you created simply because you love us and you want us to enjoy being here. It's not like He put us here to suffer. He wants us to enjoy being here and get to know Him and enjoy the things He's made and also enjoy being with Him. Um, and a lot of that, pretty much almost all of that, stems and begins with gratitude, with being thankful for all that He's made for us to enjoy and being thankful that He wakes us up in the morning, that He puts breath in our lungs because we don't know what happens, when we're asleep, we're dreaming, we're not really conscious, fully awake, and none of that. But regardless, He still is faithful and still watches over us. And in gratitude, it's like you see a glimpse of the beauty of creation before sin when you take a look at like something as simple as the waves or like the trees and how they sway peacefully. Um Things like that. It's almost like snapshots of what was intended. But yeah, that brings up the verse, what is it? Hebrews 12:28. It says, therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire. Another thing is too, like gratitude also brings joy because it brings to light the way that life kind of blossoms in different aspects of your life. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Just kind of a little video on gratitude, and how it's helped me. And I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.